2005, I went to treatment, and I was addicted to hard drugs, and I tried to convince the people at the treatment place that smoking marijuana is okay. And yeah, they of course weren't having that. And after just a few weeks, it just became like a mutual thing. Like, you have to leave this program because it's not part of our program for you to try to quit certain drugs, but not marijuana. Every relationship I'd get into would start the same and end the same. I would be able to throttle it down for a little bit and like kind of control my use, even though the people that I'd get into a relationship with knew, but they didn't know it firsthand, like every day. This is how much this guy drinks. This is how much this guy uses. This is how out of control this person can get. I need to get away from this person. That's how every relationship was. And in the last relationship I was in, before I went to the treatment where I stopped drinking alcohol, the last relationship I was in was one that, like, I knew I shouldn't be with the other person. They knew they shouldn't be with me. It wasn't a good relationship, and it ended. And I was drinking all the time, and it ended. And then I wanted to get back into it. And the only reason I wanted to get back into it is because I didn't feel strong within myself. I felt lonely. I felt afraid. I felt that I couldn't go through a big change in my life. And that's actually what catapulted me into saying, I need to go back to treatment and do this. I need to do this again, and I need to stop drinking alcohol. I need to never drink this substance again. I need to never put it in my body again. And then when I did that, that has stuck. I knew I needed to go and get some help for my drinking, but I was afraid. I felt alone, really. I felt like almost like the miserable thing I was in was like more comfortable than the thought of having to go to do the work to change. But eventually, that's exactly what I needed to do. And so then once that decision was made within me, once I knew I needed to do that, it became easier.
She said she's gonna quit me if I didn't quit the booze. So I just started drinking more to see if she would really choose. And I'll have to hand it to that girl she met every breath. And I'm glad she did, 'cause I was about to drink myself to death. Because my drink problem left today.
So we chatted a little bit about you beginning treatment again, correct?
Mm-hmm.
However, that's different from AA.
Right.
So tell me about, so you haven't drank alcohol or taken pain meds since 33,
Correct.
correct?
10 years.
Okay.
In the last 2 months, everything in my life has started to change for the better. Like I thought that it would when I went back to treatment, but the thing that kept me from going back was it's hard work. And you have to stick with it. You can't just do it a little bit. You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. What I realize now is that a substance like marijuana, that so many people, including myself, think is pretty safe. You know, well, that society thinks that now, and it, you know, for the most part, maybe it is. Yeah, I need to close the door on that the same way I closed it on alcohol and other things, because it gets me to the same place. It gets me to the same place where, like, I am not living my best life. I am angry about stuff that I shouldn't be angry about. I'm feeling ripped off. I'm feeling down to the point where, like, fuck it, you know?
Reality is the way I'm feeling right now is that if I owned a gun, I'd be afraid I'd be putting it in my mouth. I'm not lying. So I don't know.
I know I should do this, but I'm not ready. You know, I'm not ready to take the blame for my stuff. I'm not ready to apologize about stuff. I'm not ready to look myself in the mirror and say, dude, this is your fault. So stop blaming everybody else for it and work on repairing it, and then work on not going back to it.
Take the chances. Every morning you have the opportunity to change your life, to start something new, to end something that no longer feels right, to love yourself a little more, to love others more and show more kindness, to say yes or to say no, to take a small step or a giant leap. Life doesn't have to stand still, and the truth is, it never will. So why not make the changes you want to see? Take the chances. Each day you have the opportunity to change the path you are on, to move closer to living the life you want to live. Everything you dream of is possible, and it's never too late.
For me, everything was moving along nicely.
Right.
And then I had expectations on a couple things, and then that wasn't turning out. That's when my behavior changed. That's when my thoughts processes changed. That's when I started using marijuana. And then over time, I started developing resentments towards just about everybody in my life close to me. My boss, my wife, certain people at AA, the meeting I was going to at AA. I felt like because I couldn't reach out to the people there when I was struggling with my marijuana use, the reason why I couldn't do it is because we would go there each week and we would put our sobriety date on a piece of paper and pass it around the room. And that's a roster, and the reason you do it is so if you've been in the program for a while, you can help those who are new. That's the intent of it. I never ever had an issue with it until I started using and needed help, and then I felt, is this date different? Do I have to explain this date, even though I haven't drank alcohol in 8 or 9 years or however long it had been? So, if I'm struggling with something, writing a date down on a piece of paper seems pretty insignificant, really. Getting a coin seems insignificant, but that's what I got stuck on. And that's what I started resenting the meeting I was going to. Now that I'm back in treatment again, I know that deep down, the resentment was towards myself, you know? Because looking back on it now, I could care less what my sobriety date is, if there even is one. I just care about today. I just care about, like, I'm not thinking about, like, hey, suicide is an option, you know? Because that's That's never okay for me. I am way off track when that's how I'm thinking. At my work, when I started the job in like 2016, I was really calm, passive, everything. I could just leave it at the door when I left. You know, it was just a lot of my peers thought I was like too calm at times. Man, you should be saying something. And I left that job with both middle fingers in the air. But leading up to that, I was being compared to the people there that are like super, super grouchy and bitter all the time. I had changed completely. Some of the things that happened there were some circumstances, right? There's a few things that happened that like I was not okay with. And the last job that I had before that, it was somewhat similar, but I was not using any substances, and I was going to my meetings regularly, and I was sponsoring people, and I was able to just separate from that job like a person should. Put your notice in, not have to tell everybody what you think about everything, and just like an adult would, I think. But this job, I couldn't do that. I had a resentment, and I couldn't let it go. And at this point, I was using marijuana. I was smoking it, and I was smoking it around the clock, and was having psychotic episodes where when I quit my job, it was like a 2-week ordeal. I'm in, then I'm out, and for most of that time, I'm in my basement, and I'm just listening to Jimi Hendrix, The Wind Cries Mary, and CCR's I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Those 2 songs, I don't know why, on repeat, while I'm just laying on my yoga mat, just taking deep breaths because I'm so angry. And the things that I'm angry about at that job were real things. Stuff that if I explained them to you, you would understand. Like, God, I could see why you're angry. But the point is that how I let that affect me is the issue. You're not responsible for my emotions, so if you do or say something and then I have a reaction to it, that's still on me. But at the time, I can't see it clearly because I'm using and I'm angry, and everything is that way.
At what point did you realize that these situations in your life, these people that you're resenting, all this anger that was pent up inside you, at what point did you realize that this says more about you than it does the individual, or than it does the environment, or than it does the situation? At what point did you realize that all of this is resentment towards yourself?
Over the last couple months when I've been in treatment again. So I think I knew deep down, yeah, if I really looked at this, I would probably find that it's me, but I just wasn't, I was not willing to do that. But that's what recovery is you become willing to look at yourself and to surrender to things and get past them. Catch any fish? Yeah. I used to fish all the time until I got this place. I don't know why I quit. What's that?
There's only 2 things that fuck a good man. It's whiskey and women, and you can quit the whiskey.
Yeah, and I've done that, so you're right on, sir. Have a good night.
Yeah, you do.
Resentments are the #1 offender of people that use substances for relapse. Get angry about something. It's a small thing. Now 2 or 3 things happen. Now it's a bigger thing. Now it's the whole world is fucked up, and now you're gonna drink at it, or you're gonna do whatever your substance is at it, and you're drinking the poison, and you're expecting the other person to die, and that's what I was doing.
Take us away, take this away.
fire pit. Usually I put a chair next to this picnic table and play guitar. So cut this log, put it on there. Actually, someone drug this piece of wood up here for me because they know I'm going to burn it because it didn't fall from any tree.
Yeah.
With all this stuff over here I've been collecting. Burn. So I gave you a rundown on kind of why I'm doing this and whatnot. And Seaberg was a friend of mine. Clearly not as close as, to you as your cousin, relative.
First cousin.
Yeah. So I guess the reason I wanted to, ask you to talk about him or give you the opportunity to is like part of this for me is like, it's not about me. There's people that I know too that have committed suicide or have died from substance use disorder that have affected me. So then my perspective or my reasoning for asking you to talk is like, how has it affected you? Or there's no right or wrong thing to say. Like what I'm making isn't like a pro or a con anything. It's just what it is.
Sure. I don't know how it affected me. Went through the natural emotions of just, the shock and then missing him and sadness. Well, sadness, then missing him. I'm at the point now where I just miss him. And I think what might have changed was my view on that. I had a very narrow-minded view of suicide that I thought it was like a easy way out or something like that. And it's never an easy way out. But Chad had such a tough life, like, getting cancer when he was, 19, 20, having part of his spine removed and rods in it and all of that. And then they, had him all doped up. And he just, he came to a realization that he was just had enough of it, right? And the last time I seen him was like the night of the Dumont Street Dance, and I was walking my dog Penny and walked by his house, and he never let her in the house. And he's like, "Yeah, come on in, let's have a beer." I'm like, "I'll wait out here." He goes, "No, bring Penny in." So she's in there sniffing around by his records and turntable and all that. And it was just looking back on it, he was just getting his goodbyes, man. And then I heard he did that with some other people, family members, like just go over and hang out and talk with him. And he kind of, came to peace with his decision. And, some people do it or make attempts and they're not really sure if they want to. It's more of a spontaneous thing. He knew it and he was at peace with it. And then he followed through with it. And he was in pain most of his life, sick most of his life. So it changed my views on that. I understood it. I think the family does too. I just kind of miss them, more than anything.
Even though they've been around since the 90s. So 2 years ago, I went and saw Ween at Surly Brewing Company. And then like a month ago, they played at Surly Brewing Company again. And the things going on in my life and trying to refrain from using, I just decided not to go. The show was on a Friday night. I was out here. Saturday came along. I was debating what I should do because it was going to be too loud for me to record. So I was just kind of like, fuck, what do I do? These people showed up at the cabin behind me. I was just sitting outside playing guitar. One of the guys grabbed a guitar. It's like, "Oh, you play guitar?" So the whole party of people that were renting this place, they all came from the Ween concert the night before. So they were telling me all about it. I made new friends. The one guy was like,
dude, you got the Mollusk album cover tattooed on your leg. I never thought anyone would ever recognize that. So it's just strange how, like, I missed this show, but I actually had a better time not going because these people showed up.
In recovery, you find a lot that people end up committing suicide, whether they go back to using and then commit suicide, or they don't even go back. They just feel hopeless and they commit suicide, or whatever reason. There's a number of reasons. But at this particular meeting, someone had committed suicide like the week before, and one of the elder people in the group, well-respected person, stood up and said, how can we see these signs better? How can we prevent this and all these things? And that has stuck with me. And the reason I ask is because I've given off most of those signs to people, even though I don't feel as though I'm actually going to kill myself or have a plan to or anything like that. But I think the point of what I'm saying is that I don't know if there's anything you can do. Unless the person comes to you and says, I'm going to commit suicide, then there's things that you can do to try to prevent that. But even then, that's temporary. So I'm not asking that in terms of like, oh, did he tell you and you didn't do anything, or anything like that. You just mentioned it didn't seem like as much of a surprise.
Well, no. Yeah, it wasn't much of a surprise just because he was just in pain all of his life.
It was easy to accept right away when you knew.
Easy's not the word, but you could understand, I guess. Right? Yeah. I think the only thing that you can do is just try to listen and recognize when somebody's reaching out. Because quite often people won't. And it's easier, in hindsight to go, how did I miss that? I should have noticed that.
Yeah.
But with these experiences, then you can try to recognize them in the moment. If you have a friend that's, obviously reaching out, which may not always seem obvious, but maybe with this experience, it helps you kind of recognize it and make it a little more obvious.
One of the people that were here was, why can't I remember her name? She's on Bob 95. Doesn't matter. But anyway, she got just a little snippet of us playing together. We jammed on that porch back there, some Ween tunes. I got video of, she's got a little video of it, and then I had my camera set up on the dock facing away from us, and you can hear us in the background playing with like loons and shit. It was one of the best times that I've had in a long time, and like music is the reason why, and the band Ween specifically.
We talked a little bit earlier about like empathy, and I don't think we really teach our kids empathy as much as we should in schools or whatever, and trying to put ourselves in the place of other people and making a cognitive effort to do that daily and recognize when you're not doing it. Like, right. I think that can help.
For me personally, so I got married on a Friday, and I think if he committed suicide Friday night or Saturday, it was the day after my wedding.
Okay, so I think it would have been that Saturday. Probably,
yeah. So like for me, of course, this is the happiest time of my life, and then I hear this news.
Yeah.
And then I go and I'm leaving for a honeymoon or these other plans that are connected to marriage, and I think my thoughts went to also the guy was in a lot of pain. He has been his whole life.
Yeah.
And he's such a good dude, and this really sucks. But I get it. Mm-hmm. I understand. And I just feel terrible for, of course, him, but for the people that are close to him. Yeah, as soon as I started talking to these guys last night, one of them was like, oh, you got the Mollusk tattooed on your leg. That's awesome. So like,
noticed straight away.
yeah, this I just got it finished not that long ago. Hey Josh at Dead Rockstar, thanks for giving me a tattoo today.
You got a boss.
Seberg stopped taking his painkillers. And we got the old Seberg back. Because he had just been in a cloud for a long time. He was just in a haze, you know. And we talked earlier about my disdain for some of the big pharma companies and the fact that they, you know, they were handing out those Oxycontins to anybody and everybody for anything. You know, that still bothers me. And so, I mean, when he got off of those, we got the old Seberg back, you know. I have a shirt in the back that says, before Google, there was Seberg, because he knew everything. It's so great, you know. But he recognized that he was kind of part of, you know, maybe contributing to somebody else's problem a little bit, you know. And I think he just realized he didn't want to be like that anymore. So then we got old Seberg back, and, you know, he had actually come out and have a couple beers, and you know, got a little bit of a beer belly, which was awesome, you know. And he was just old Seberg, but I think
Part of the guys again.
Yep. I think that once he came out of that cloud a little bit, though, I think there might have been some more clarity, and I think he just thought that the time was right. And then plus, that was around the time his cat Lola died. And that was my old cat I gave to him, so I think she was like 18 or 20. So
How long do you think he was off the pain meds before this happened?
I don't know, a couple months maybe.
Tree up here, there's a smaller tree and a larger tree, and I think when they came through and they were taking other trees out or doing something, they scuffed this one and bent it, and it's dying. It was hanging over our road, and for the longest time I just knew I was going to cut it down. But so one day I did. I cut it down. Some of the wood up there that I burn is from this tree. So I cut this tree down, hauled it off, and I wrote the name of my favorite band on this stump. It's the band Ween.
He realized that he needed those painkillers to keep that pain away. I think that probably scared him. You know, getting that little bit of clarity, and then realizing that the rest of his life was going to depend on that.
Feeling like he's fucked both ways.
Yeah.
I'm either in pain and it sucks, or I'm gonna be on this shit.
Yeah, and I think he was just deathly afraid of going back under the knife, which he would have probably had to. So, yeah, just miss him.
Yeah. You know, for me, it was just like a lot of the memories that I have are at the house that him and Sean lived in, and a lot of those memories were like, a lot of them were fuzzy, you know. That was during a time where I was at my worst when it came to addiction.
Yeah.
But there was also some times where, like, watching football on Sundays and stuff, where we weren't all fucking partying and shit, that were like some good memories.
Yeah.
And Seberg was just like always around.
Yeah.
He was just always there, and he was always just, you know, good natured. Like, the guy was just solid.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I remember of him.
Really
Not
good.
being part of the family, and just like knowing him just through Sean, and knowing Sean just through my cousin. You know, so like,
they're fond memories. I mean, we all used to hang out and party and listen to good music and discover good music, and just that kind of sense of community that when we get older like this, you crave. You know?
Ween is just this weird band that has some really good songs, and they also have some that are just like gross, and they're out there. The boognish is a real thing, and when I meet somebody who's a Ween fan and they're truly a Ween fan, there's a connection that's unlike any other like music relationship. Like, dude, Ween's your favorite band? Really? Ween's my favorite band. There is so many things that don't even, like, this person just gets exactly where I'm at when it comes to that band and to this music. Seberg liked the band Ween, so.
For my buddy Seberg, who passed away a couple years back.
The wind over my true love, cold blows the drops of rain. Well, I never had one true love, and in Canval he was slain. Oh, I'll do as much for my true love as any young girl may, and I sit and weep down by his grave for 12 months and one day. But when 12 months will come and gone, this young man he arose. What makes you weep down by my grave? I can't take my repose. Oh, one kiss, your lily white lips. One kiss is all I crave. One kiss, your lily white lips. Now return back to my grave. My lips, they are as cold as my claim. My breath is heavy and strong. If there was to kiss my lily white lips, my days would not be long. Oh, don't you remember the garden grove where we used to roam? Pluck the finest flower of them all to wither to a stalk. Go fetch me a nut from the dungeon deep, water from the stone, and white milk from the maiden's breast. But babe, they'll never know. Go dig me a grave, long, wide, and deep, as quickly as you may. Now lie down in it and take one sleep for 12 months and one day. Cold blows the wind over my true love, cold blows the drops of rain. Oh, I never had one true love, in Canval he was slain. Oh, I'll do as much for my true love as any young girl may. Sit and weep down by his grave for 12 months and one day.
So a lot of these tools that I'm using in recovery, I already had in place. So like, I had been going to yoga before the last 3 months. I've been doing it for several years now. I know we haven't talked much about psilocybin, but that's something that I've been using since I was 18. That is a medicine. If there's a way to look inward and not lie to yourself and just like, this is who I am at my center, then that's what that's been for me. Also, I'll tell you the one thing about psilocybin is that if you're new in recovery and I'm trying to help you and I suggest to you that you should take psilocybin, it's bad advice. This can be a dangerous thing if you're not self-aware, first of all, because if you're not ready to face your stuff, you're not ready to take that, because a lot of us that use, the nature of it is that we're not ready to face our stuff. So it's bad advice for people early in recovery. People who maybe have some recovery or some people who have experience with that, it can be a great tool. Psilocybin is the kind of thing where it doesn't work on its own. If you have all these problems, but you're not doing any of the work, and then you take this substance, it's not going to work the way that you want it to. But if you are doing all of the work, I started doing the work again. Then I took this substance about a month ago, and I felt the anger leave my body. And when I got up the next day, things were different. And the reason why is because it's not everybody else's fault. It's my own. Sometimes you need to just absolutely get broken down by something, humbled by something. That could be another person, that could be a situation, it could be a substance. For me, it's psilocybin. There's a lot of research about it, and there's a lot of like science behind it now. That's been one of the most important tools in this. But let me say this again. If I wasn't doing the other stuff, it wouldn't have this effect. I can come get that for you guys.
Huh?
I can come get that for you. I'm gonna go throw my stuff away anyway. Yeah. So the tools that I'm using right now, to help me with substance use disorder is things like helping other people.
Never have to lock it. We're in the wilderness. Hey man, I can get that for you. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't even need to get my keys on.
Fucking nice truck flick, thank you. Good. Right now, that's the biggest thing for me. I know that I can help other people, and I know that if I'm doing it and I'm being genuine about it, and I'm not expecting anything in return, and I don't have expectations attached to it, I'm genuinely just, hey man, do you want to go to this meeting? I'll go with you. Or you can count on me to be there. Or hey, if you call or text me, I promise you I won't ignore you. You can always get a hold of me. Doing that helps me so much. We're all people. Whether we have substance use disorder or we don't, we're all just people on this planet trying to figure it out. We're all just here to walk each other home. So when I find myself trying to help somebody else, it gets me out of my own head. It gets me feeling better about myself when I know it's genuine. You know, when there isn't some alternative motive or something, some BS behind it. Just at the end, on the other side of the gate, but I'm going anyway, so I'll just come back and get a cheeseburger. Something like that. And things I've learned along the way is it's really important to learn how to love yourself. And I don't mean like in an egotistical way, like, hey, I love myself because I'm the best. I'm the best at this or the best at that. That's not what I mean. I mean having grace for yourself, understanding like you're going to make mistakes, you're not a piece of shit, those kind of things. If you have that kind of thinking, to do what you can to change it. That will keep a person sick. If they think, if their thoughts about themselves is negative.
She was very nice, actually. Made sure that she knew where to put it herself. That's why she didn't move it herself. I just told her a complete lie and told her I'm going there anyway. Really, I'm just being nice.
Belief is that you have these things inside of you already. You know, you have these tools. We all have them. We all have roadblocks. We all have obstacles. We all have things to get past to have a better life or enlightenment or whatever you want to call it. And I've learned that through yoga.
Oh, let's drive back home and then let's go make some fucking noise. You fucking me right now? Not you. There we go. It's got a burper, I guess.
For me, I have found that having a creative outlet is important. A lot of us, we go to work and we put effort into that, and whether we love our job or hate our job, that's where we spend a lot of our time and a lot of our energy goes into it. And then if we don't have something that we love to do that's our own or that satisfies us or fills us up, and that can leave a hole.
I don't own any type of firearm for even hunting. So you can come shoot me if you want. Or steal from me and do whatever you gotta do. Still probably just take your trash out.
Well, I've learned for myself that having a creative outlet like music, for example, or whatever it might be for you, but for me it's music, has given me not a distraction, but a motivation, an outlet, something to put my energy into that's that's my own, or that, you know, I can use to, you know, connect with people, for sure. Something that I look forward to every day, like, oh, what am I working on now? Oh, this part of the song I'm trying to figure out. Like, look, no one that close to me really cares that much about it. I'm doing it for myself. It's my own creative thing. Like, this is part of me that I want to do for myself. And I think that it's important for other people to understand that having a creative outlet for themselves is important. Or it's definitely a tool. Like, I don't mean, hey, screw your job, just start playing guitar and like just shut the world off. That's not at all what I mean. What I mean is, if you like knitting or you like making sweaters or whatever it is, do what makes you happy. Find a way to fit it in. So you're doing things that you're looking forward to and you like doing. And it's for you. It's not an external thing like, well, I'm single and alone, so I need to find the right partner, or I need other people around me to fill me up. Fill yourself up. Like, that's really where you grow.